Whatever you want, I am what you need. Are y'all with me there? Ultimately, it's a person he's pointing to. Jesus said unto him, I am the way. Yeah. Did y'all see that? He said, I am the truth. And I am the life. You see the definite article D before every word? That suggests that he's not just a way. That is to suggest he's not just a truth. That's not to suggest he's just a life. No, he is the way. Why? Why is he the way? He's the only way to the Father because he's the only way from the Father. Yeah. You tripping over the wrong thing. Jesus is the way, the person of Christ. He says, and I am the way, the truth, and the life. I am the door. I am the light of the world. I am the bread of the life. In other words, whatever you need, I am that I am. God, my mind run back, Moses, Lord, what am I going to tell him? Your name. Tell him I am. That's your name? What's your last name? What's your first name? I am. What's your last name? I am. What's your middle name? I am. And some of us need to get a hold of I am this morning as a part of your destiny. Have I got a witness here? Not that I was, but I am. Not that I will be, but I am. I like that. Because from the beginning and to the end, I am. From vanishing point to vanishing point, I am. From the country to the city, I am. From well water to bottled water, I am. Y'all know this. From a number 10 tub to a jacuzzi tub, I am that I am. Have I got a witness here? That's what he said. He's talking about the person of him. And he said, no man cometh to the Father but by me. And some of y'all don't like that. Because you've been trying to get to God your way. That's why you're so frustrated. You're frustrated with the church structure. You're frustrated with church politics. You're frustrated with tradition. You're frustrated in a lot of areas in the church because you're trying to seek God your way. How many know this morning your way won't work? I ain't telling you what I heard. I'm telling you what I know. I got to close. And I tried to do it on my own. I tried to follow him off of my own mental prowess and intellect. Tried to follow him off of feelings. Some of y'all trying to follow him off feelings. You don't feel like it, you don't come. You don't feel like giving, you don't give. You don't feel like loving, you don't love. You got to be able to get beyond your feelings. Because feelings come and go. Have I got a witness here? If you marry somebody off of feeling, you in for a rude awakening. Because I tell you, every now and then, even after over 40 years, it ain't about feeling anymore. No, it's about commitment. It's about loyalty. It's about fidelity. It's about laying it all on the line. He said, God, here I am. You take control. Have I got a witness here? And I found out he'll do it, y'all. I got to close here. But I tell you, his person is there. Not only is this person there, he said, you got to have, notice there's a perception involved. said, if you had known me. Kind of takes you back a little bit. Some of y'all should have known him by now. All the stuff you've been through. All the stuff you had to endure. You think that your lawyer got you out of all that mess. Or you think that your counselor got you out of all that. Or you think it was your confidant that got you out of it. No, you ought to know that it was nobody but the Lord. Have I got a witness of it? When you can't put your finger on it, when it don't make sense that you're still in here this morning with half of your mind left, and all that you didn't lose out there in the world, you ought not be ashamed to tell somebody. Had it not been for the Lord who gave me supernatural perception that I could see beyond my circumstance and know beyond the shadow of a doubt. Don't know how, don't know when, but I know he's going to bring me out. I got to close this morning, but he said his perception is there. If you had known me, you should have known my Father. Have I got a witness here? Why? Because I and my Father are one. Y'all don't hear me this morning. Now, I look like my Father. I got genes like him. But he is his own person. And I am my own person. Have I got a witness here? We are a part of one another, but we are not one another. Don't lose me now. But I tell y'all, Jesus said just the opposite. John chapter 10, he says, I and my Father, we are one. Well, you mean, Jesus, I'm glad you asked. He said, when you see me, you see the Father. I got a witness here. In other words, you got supernatural perception. Thanks be to God. I know him, and I know my Father. And so henceforth, you know him, and ye have seen him. In other words, brothers and sisters, somebody wants to see Jesus. And they want to see him in your life manifest. Have I got a witness here? In other words, is anybody in here this morning willing to show Jesus off? Is anybody in here outside of me willing to lay it on the line and say, what you looking at is what Jesus is doing in my life? Now I got company in here. In other words, you don't know like I know. But I know this one thing. I was blind. I know I was dumb. I know I was without any destiny. But one day, come on somebody, one day, he showed up in my life. And won't he show up to you? Just when you need him the most. Lift your head up. Oh, ye gates. And be ye lifted up. Ye everlasting doors. And the King of glory shall come in. Who is this King of glory? The Lord strong and mighty. talking about. Forget about who's naysaying. Forget about who's wagging their head. You ought to make the devil mad and say, for God I live and for God I die. It's been too good for me to sit down on the praise, for me to show up every now and then. It's been too good for me. You can sit there and look at me like a calf at a new gate. But when you think about how good God did, I got a witness here. When you think of where you could have been and where you are right now, your hand ought to automatically go up and give God the praise. Have I got a witness here? I got to close there, y'all. That's my third close. Well, let me close on bozo. I grew up with bozo, the little inflated toy. And every time you blew that thing up, y'all ain't hipping me there. And you would come up and you would suck, and it would go all the way to the ground. Where my bozo cry? And every now and then, you say, why did this thing keep popping right back up? Because, brothers and sisters, when you find out the makers of it, put a weight in the bottom of it. You don't hear me right now. In other words, you put something solid at the feet of it. You put something strong in the bottom of it. So every time you hit it, you bounce right back up. Some of y'all ought to help me right there. You may get knocked down in your walk with the Lord.